else. All right. So we're gonna rank the Masters Tour lists. I think I'm gonna do a 1 through 5. I'll do a 1 through 4. How about that? So 4 equals. No, I'll just put above average. Okay. So this is gonna be like everything that we don't expect. A 3 would be meta deck. Let's just say meta deck, no changes. Less optimal. 1 is gonna be you're trolling, kid. All right. So I guess we're starting with Group D. Starting with Group D, Incurro's lineup: Overheal Priest, Psycho Rogue, Tempo Druid, and Sanity Warlock. Psycho Rogue is going to be the rogue with Giant specifically, so we're not talking about like Shit Rogue or other variants like that. Yeah, so this is like a pretty expected lineup, I would say. Okay, this is a pretty expected lineup. This is pretty much the standard list. Does not run. He doesn't run anything outside of like the base spells. He doesn't run like the extra minion. You could say he doesn't run Mixologist. He runs Tide Pool alone. Tempo Druid. There's 2 versions of Tempo Druid. One that runs Tsunami, one that runs Doomkins. Doomkins is like the more normal version, but I think given that we're expecting combo, where Tsunami really doesn't matter, this is going to be a very combo-oriented meta, and the only way the Druid really beats combo is with multiple Dorians. Insanity Warlock, I like this a lot. I like not having the 5-cost spell. I think it dilutes your deck, and I think what makes these decks really strong is the fact that they can kind of draw super fast through their deck. I think especially considering that we're expecting combo meta, right? That's the expectation is somewhat a combo meta. That's going to be pretty standard. There's no crazy changes in this deck, so I think this is just a clear 3. I think the having a really clean list is going to be fine. I personally think Psycho Rogue is a 2 because I think the other lists are more optimized, and I think Psycho Rogue is a little bit too RNG to go through a long tournament. And I think that the Giants are going to be really good, but there's going to be a lot of matchups where they don't matter as much. I'd love to be proven wrong, and I think there's a good chance I am. But my gut reaction is to think that it's slightly less optimal to run Psycho Rogue over the other Rogue decks. And then Tempo Druid, I think it's fine. I think it's pretty normal. For Tempo Druid, I expect to see a decent amount of Tempo Druids. You can't really fuck Tempo Druid up. The Insanity Warlock, I'm actually going to give this one a 4. I think with this meta, I personally would run 2 Neophytes, but I think having 1 Neophyte is fine. I think this is a 12. I think that this, so Mesmile's next. Mesmile, I'm actually really excited to see him play. He brought Insanity Warlock, Evolve Shaman, Buttons, Rainbow DK, and Overheal Priest. So, yeah, we'll definitely have first impressions, and then we'll have everybody all at once, right? We'll definitely have to do that. Mesmile's lineup at a glance, I think Evolve Shaman. I don't like Evolve Shaman here. I don't think it's necessarily want to run, but oh god, his list is fucking crazy. Wait, hold up. This kills people. I mean, I kind of want to believe him, but like, I don't know, man. I believe in it. I don't know if I believe in it. Buttons, Rainbow DK, I'm going to probably defer all DK opinions to chat because I haven't learned how to play the deck and I only play against it. I'll start with deck 1 because the Insanity Warlock deck is like the most normal here, right? I mean, he runs Thornveil Tentacle, which isn't necessarily as needed, but I don't think that's enough to dock it down to a 2. He's not running like Reverb or anything else that's like Troll, but he's also not running any tech cards. Is this a 2 as well? DK never beats Rogue or Combo Druid. True. 3, 2, 1, 3. Okay. I don't know if the Insanity Warlock is a 3. We're looking at the Insanity Warlock, and it doesn't have any tech for the meta, which I feel like you may need that. And it doesn't have any way to kill the big minions. So it's like, it's not... It does basically what the deck does. It doesn't particularly kill the Druid decks or the other like decks that play big minions. And it doesn't necessarily kill like the combo decks with tech stuff. I think it's barely a 3. but the Evolve Shaman deck, I think, is a 2. I think this is suboptimal. It doesn't look to me like it's going to be better. I don't know why we're running Spirit Claws other than just to push extra damage, which I don't think is going to help too much. This is actually probably the most teched deck. Just Spirit Claws being a way to kill aggro is something that's like consistent. But with the caliber of players running aggro decks, I don't think that this is going to be. I think this may be a stronger on ladder. I kind of want to try this deck on ladder. It's just for 4-mana location. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Is that smart then? Like, is this better? It's either a 2 or a 4 for sure. I've seen a lot of 1s and 2s being put out for this buttons DK. Are we saying that just because DK is too weak to be played in general? It's not a good meta call. I'm just gonna put it double threads. Yeah. I'm tempted to put it as a 2, but and then the priest deck is a 3. I don't know. I think we have to give something a 1, so this can be our first one. 3, 2, 1, 3 is 9. I don't know how to pronounce this name. If anyone has a pronunciation that they could post in chat, let me know. I don't know if I actually like this deck. This list, so double domino, I don't know if it's necessarily needed, but I don't really hate it, I guess. What is the glacial shards for exactly? Is it for just Maxi running shit rogue? Double cold feet. I know I saw you guys talking about it. Really weird. Does he run Tidepool with it too? So technically he's got like 4 in there. Okay, this DK deck is crazy actually. I think this might be a 4. If we're talking about what like a really solid deck to try and beat a combo meta, is this not like exactly what you want? Tech to the fucking gills. Everything but rat. I mean, if you play this really cleanly, how do you lose? Because Cold Feet and like I think Mixologist even as a way to like as like a potential extra finisher on top of all the other things you're doing. Like this deck runs really fast and is flexible enough where I think it can beat most other things. It's just completely normal druid, no changes. Okay, so we can just put a 3 over here. So 3. Ignis is probably worse than what we can expect Ignis to be worse. Even though this guy is the overheal priest guy. I'm leaning on giving his DK a 4. I want to say this is his insanity is definitely a 2. Like, yeah, I don't know. This doesn't scream to me. I don't see how this list can lose. I think this list hard carries. Honestly, I could be wrong, but I think this is strong. 11. Okay, another name I can't really pronounce. But we have the same druid deck. Man, I gotta play this druid deck some more, I guess. Shit, man. Everybody's playing it. It's like a good DK list for the opposite reasons that the other one is. I think especially if we're looking at DKs, the fact that a list like this wasn't cooked up and brought more frequently already makes this a 4 to me. I think this deck is above average. Because again, if I'm picking my ideal lineup and I see this deck, I'm not gonna have a good time. I think this is, if you're gonna bring Evolve Shaman, this is the Evolve Shaman I think you should bring. I wouldn't make any changes. I like this list. I've seen people do really well with this list. I personally like this list a lot. I think this is like normal. And then this is a 4. Is this really a 4, or is this what's expected? I think people bringing a hand buff paladin is somewhat expected, and I don't know a list that doesn't look like this. Is there anything that this list does better than other hand buff paladin lists? Otherwise, it just defaults to 3, which still gives him the best lineup so far. Let's skip to group 1 now. I know it's gonna be kind of funny, but definition. Dude, I don't know if this seems cracked. That isn't even better than just playing Stomper, right? I mean, blocking minions is like way fucking better. Like Cold Feet is like a lot better than Stomper, I think. I think this is a 4. I think this is above average paladin deck. I'll start with that. Maybe I'm trolling. Concierge I think is expected and normal. This Overheal Priest deck, I think, is a 2. I don't think the Puppet Theater is better. And I think that this is the ideal Miracle Rogue list, which puts it at a 4 or 3 for me. All right, FuryHunter. Does Woodland Wonders end it? What the fuck is Woodland Wonders? The Druid that summons taunts vs spell damage. Oh my god. That's kind of sick, isn't it? I think this is an above average concierge druid deck. Does this not improve the deck? I feel like this is really good. I don't know. It's two fives for 2 mana, man. Don't you need a little bit extra oomph with this deck? You get this amount of chip damage in. This shit never gets cleared with these combo decks. Think Innovate is better. Okay, we'll keep it as a 3 then, because I think it might be a little bit better, but chat seems to think it's maybe not. So this is what I was talking about. I think Deafen probably needs to go in these lists. I think you have to try and fit Deafen and Stomper personally. Maybe even cut one Sandbox Scoundrel. I don't know if we need the 2. But I don't think anyone's going to cut the Sandbox Scoundrel, so I think this is like the expected list. I think this is a 3. I think the Overheal Priest list is about as standard as you can get. And I don't think there's anything particularly exciting about this Warlock deck either. So I think this is just 3 3s. Nothing is particularly ambitious here or weird. Oh my god, this guy brought Highlander Druid. Oh, disgusting. I mean, oh, okay, no bias. Instant one. Oh my god, Neophyte Priest 4. Oh hey, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this guy. He brought Neophyte and Holy Nova though. I think Neophytes is really good. We got carried by putting Neophytes in our deck. You've lost space. So okay, so I think it's safe to say this list. I personally think that this is a above average list for Overheal Priest by quite a bit. Wildly index of 40 deck cards, true. I'll defer to you guys' opinion on this. We'll come back to it, especially since there's an ad running. In my opinion, it's win trading. Yeah, I wouldn't bring it. I think it's terrible. I guess if I think it's terrible, my knee-jerk reaction is to put it as a 1. It's gonna be a 1. It's no good, man. I like his other list though. Okay, this is what I was talking about before. I don't know what you're cutting for this, but running a Deafen with a Speaker Stomper and a Minstrel is like the formula for a perfect Miracle Rogue deck right now. Because then you're beating up all the DKs, probably even some of the shamans with the Deafen shit. Oh, he cut the 2/3. I don't know. I think we keep this as a 3 because I still think you want to run at least one Mixo. But I think these other options are fine. I think this is another way of building the deck. And I think as long as you have a Deafen, a Speaker Stomper, and a Minstrel, then you're running the optimized expected version of this deck list. Festival Security, what the fuck is this? Oh my god, dude, this guy's got some spice. No Razor Scale. I think this is a 2, man. Oh, it is a gem killer. Wait, is that pretty smart? Wait, is that actually a Giga Tech? Is this just a 4 outright? You kill all the gems, you win the game. I mean, it's gonna kill everything. It's a hand buff. I think it's actually really smart. All the Overhill Priest players in my chat are looking on in horror as they realize that they just lost all their gems they're carrying them throughout this game. Aren't you still kind of losing though? Is this really gonna be enough to beat Overhill Priest? Because Overhill Priest is already such a bad matchup that don't you just want to ban it? I don't know. I don't know. I kind of want to put this as a 4. I think it's kind of genius. Maybe it flips the matchup for Priest. I don't know. And so despite getting 2 4s, this guy's just going to hit a 12 still because he brought fucking Highlander Druid. There's no way that's right. So no Rogue, no Overheal for Uikyou. Uikyou's DK is at 0. Oh my god. Wait, where is it? Primus. Okay, so he's got the Eliza list that people really don't like. With 2 threads. So this is like the what's the point list, right? based on the opinions of DK players and how I've been kind of understanding these DK decks, it's looking to me like DK is like, this is not how you want to run your DK deck, right? I mean, is that fair to say, guys? This is not how we want to run our DK deck. That deck is never winning the game. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put the DK deck as a 1. 2 enforcers maybe. Yeah, I don't think you need neophytes at all, because the thing is, if we have a skilled Grifter Rogue player, which is part of what you're trying to counter with this deck, then Grifter Rogue's gonna eat this deck alive, because you can negate the neophyte effect completely. You can literally just delete the neophyte effect. It doesn't matter. I think this is a 2. I think it actually is that worse, because I think you need Customs Enforcer in the deck, and I think the neophytes add nothing. In this particular deck, I think neophytes have a place, but not here. You need this deck to win on like turn 7, 8, 9, 10 sometimes versus combo decks, and the way you get there is with tech cards, and this is not the tech card that's going to matter on turn 9. Cutting 1 Eat the Imp and 1 Party Fiend, actually. What the fuck? And 1 Symphony. Is this a 2 as well? Does Uikyou Loki have the worst lineup? I think you don't you need 2 Eat the Imps in this deck? Why would you cut the Eat the Imp? Any Insanity Warlock players, is this trolling? I think Insanity. I think Reverb's ass. Like you can hit a Monthul with it, you can hit Fire with it, and then everything else is bad. I think it just does end it. But I don't think you ever want to play that card. I'm gonna put it as a 1. I'm gonna put it as a 1. 2 1s. God damn. This looks like it's a pretty normal list, at least. He cut the draw. Take the skies for that. And then everything else is pretty much the same. All right, so that's a 3. Okay, so Uikyou's got a big fat 7. So Uikyou's the underdog right now. Let's see how he proves us wrong. Jace 2, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you, man. Really appreciate you guys for the follows. If you guys didn't know, I'll take quick intermission to say I'm now a full-time streamer officially as of yesterday. Yeah, so I'll be doing a lot more of this shit. So if you guys like Hearthstone gameplay, but also this kind of shit, we're about to have a little bit more of both. So yeah, I do stream every single day. Looking like 5 p.m. PST for now. Nature Shaman. Is Nature Shaman good? I feel like Nature Shaman would be really good, but I don't know. Tempo Druid. He's got no Marilia in here. And instead of 1 Doomkin. Don't you want the Doomkins like quite a bit? What, isn't that just worse? Overheal Priest deck is pretty much standard. I think someone else brought this exact list and they got a 3 as well. So we'll do the easy one first. That's a 3. Mixologist. I don't think Gear Shift is needed. I think not running Stomper in this Miracle Rogue list is gonna have him be eaten up by the people who do, but he does run Deafen, and he does not run Minstrel. I think this is maybe a 2 for Miracle Rogue decks, as far as a little bit weaker than what we expected people to bring, but probably still okay. I want to put this as a 2 because I think cutting 1 Doomkin, it's not that big of a change, but no Marilia I don't see mattering at all. And Doomkin I see mattering a ton. So I think this is a 2 as well. I kind of want to say I think Nature Shaman may have been, it's definitely a choice, and I think it's good against all the combo decks, but really, really weak against everything else. Like really, really, really weak against everything else. Because they all have disruption and they all know what's going to happen, right? Yeah, it fucks up the Flower Child. I don't like him really at all. Yeah, I don't. It seems like he wasn't expecting the tech, just like based on this. I think Nature Shaman was a. I think it's a misfield. Yeah, but the thing is, they can just have the field as combo and combo around it. But I think Nature Shaman is like one of the weaker combo decks. It only really beats Overheal Priest cleanly. From what I can tell, all the Miracle Rogues are gonna beat it because they're both combo decks, but this one runs Stomper and it has a combo where you can play Stomper a whole bunch of times, which seems like it's gonna be pretty bad for the Nature Shaman, right? And the Nature Shaman can just never win. and every other list is really neophytes and shit. I have to say, I think Nature Shaman was a mistake. I don't think this is a Nature Shaman meta, and I don't even think it's good on ladder or anything like that right now. I think this is the second worst lineup so far. At a glance, I really hope I'm proven wrong because I think it'd be awesome to see Nature Shaman do super well, and I think DeadDraw is a very exceptional player, even for the tournament we're talking about. So, you know, we'll see what he does with this. You, in my experience, runs really clean lists. The last one he sent me was really good. He sent me a list a while back that was pretty good. Wait, did he actually bring the perfect list? Oh no, this is like a 3. So it doesn't have the 2 3s in it, but this is still pretty good. I don't know how you build a deck with the 2 3s in it though. Maybe you just don't run them, and this is just what you need to have the deck look like. I don't know. It's tough to say. I think it's just a 3. And this is like one of the expected lineups. One of 2 expected lineups. Tempo Druid's a 3. There's nothing different about it. Custom supports a 2. Razor scale 1. This is the exact lineup that we expect from a hand buff paladin. Good for him. I think this is probably gonna be good. Yeah, maybe you're right. We can try it after this. Oh, I misclicked, I think. Well, let's see if I did misclick. Oh, Puppet Theater we put as a 2 before. Puppet Theater and Holy Nova and 2 weapons. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's the best way to run Overheal. I'm going to put it as a 2 because that's what I did for the other guy. We're starting to see repeat lists now, so I'm pretty far convinced that for multiple reasons, the Frost version of Insanity Warlock, even with a Stomper, which does make the deck better, I think is a 1. I think it's a 1 because, again, most of the decks that the free stuff matters for run locations, and the locations are going to prevent you from chaining the stun across everything that matters. And ideally, the players of this caliber should be able to look at the deck list and say, this is what this guy's going to do. And then this becomes the most predictable deck list in the entire meta. Combo decks, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the things. Oh yeah, so I guess that makes it even worse. So you're doing it on your own minions, but he also doesn't run the 1 cost stuff. So yeah, you're just not gonna have targets for soul freeze that are gonna matter. And so I think it's somewhat likely that you run into quite a few situations where you draw less cards with this than the imp, or the same, for 1 extra mana and setup and a self harm charge. Yeah, that sounds tough. Cycle Rogue with this shit, I just don't know. I think it's a 2. I put it as a 2 before. I think this is actually worse than the other list, but not so much where I'm going to say he's trolling. I just think that this is the suboptimal pick right now. I don't think any of these decks really have that much of an issue with the Cycle Rogue right now. Tempo Druid, I'm imagining this is probably going to be the same exact list as all the others. Yep. Okay, that's a 3. Good job, Tempo Druid. Evolve Shaman is this, so he doesn't run the mech, so he doesn't have the Micaiah Time banner attack. Pylon ticking. This is like a pretty standard. Oh yeah, this is about as standard as it gets. This is like the Norwest list. It doesn't run a Stomper. Yeah, I mean, like this is the Evolve Shaman list. Like this is what you run right now, right? I'd say this is a 3. I don't think people are going to be super surprised about bringing Evolve Shaman. I'm actually surprised that there's not more. And I think this is one of 2 Evolve Shaman lists that you can expect to bring. The one with the mech shit, and then the people are saying that Walker's saying that this list is the nutty list. Yeah, I mean it is. Both lists I think personally can be considered expectable. Like this is what you expect to see. Jarla's lineup, not the worst, but not in definitely not top 5. I don't think I'm gonna bump the Druid up to a 4, but you know what? I can. Let's just for shits and giggles, Stomper Druid ends it. Oh yeah, I don't have to touch this anymore. Great. 2 Razor Scales. Wait, where's the other guy? Why didn't you run the other guy? Oh, the neophyte stuff? Neophytes don't matter versus the rogues that much, though. No other guy for Neo. Yeah. It's probably okay, but I personally, no. I feel like the 2-5 is really, really good, man. The 2-5 I feel like is really, really good. Yeah. So you'd be offended if I gave you guys all 2s? Because I think outfit tailor is necessary. I mean, I can accept that I'm wrong if that many people brought Alpha Taylor. Was there anyone else I gave a less than a high rating for this? Well, if I did, they get unlucky. I'll keep this as a 3. Maxie's list is Banter's list for Overkill. I mean, sorry. This is like a super standard list, right? There's like nothing crazy here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is like the normal Overkill list. Good job. Speaker Stomper, Minstrel, and a Deafen. Oh, is this the actual perfect list? And 1 Mixologist. All right, this is the 4. Dude, Banter's a genius. The Mega Cook. I think this is how I would do it. If I had time to figure out exactly how to build a deck, this is it, and this is what I'm looking at right now. I've said it the entire time that if you can fit Deafen, Mixo, Evan Minstrel, and Speaker Stomper into this list, and then you have the perfect list, especially for the meta. Done. All right. Nothing more to say there. Insanity Warlock. It's about as standard as you can get for Insanity Warlock. Cool. His Banter's list is tied for first. Nice. So yeah, if it's the same lineup as Banter's, we'll just give it another 13. Yeah. So who's all in that? Oh yeah, this group is fucking terrified. Okay, so for everyone that was in the ad, Gamer has the exact same list as Banter, so he gets an automatic 13. Everything's the same. I think they're in a different order, so I'll just go. All right, done. Maxie's list. Let's see. So Maxie's list is different in a lot of ways, right? To the other deck. I think running 1 Scoundrel is actually really smart. Mic Drop is interesting. I'm not sure if you really need Mic Drop, but it does probably help. It's a very streamlined combo deck. I'm not exactly sure what the Mixo does. Yeah, he did the Reaps. So that's happening. Yeah, I imagine Mic Drop's actually pretty good. So this is a much different list. I think I would give this list a 4, but I really do personally think that you need Stompers with all these Miracle Rogue mirrors you're gonna be facing. Obviously with Maxi as the pilot and Maxi in chat, I think we're very likely to be proven wrong. But if you get Stomper to death, the expectation is that you have to bring Stompers, and the 2 peoples as well would be good. Manager, yeah, I like a manager a lot. So like, there's a lot of pros and cons. I would give this a 4 if it wasn't for missing the Stomper. I just think Stomper is that important right now in this list, especially for this event. I would even say that you should expect these rogue decks to run Stomper because they already have such a Buff Paladin looks fine. Overkill Priest. Yep, this is the Maxi list that we've been practicing on stream. I like the list. I think it's unexpectedly strong, and the way Maxi plays it is really good. I'm tempted to give it a 4 even, but I think all these really standard like variants of Overheal Priest are all going to get a 3 unless they run something cringe, then they get a 2. If they run a tech card, I think they get a 4. I think putting a tech card in your Overheal Priest deck is probably the best thing you can do right now. Insanity Warlock last deck, he runs the one to eat the imp, the reverb deck. I don't like this deck at all, man. I hate this deck. What did I get it for Uikyou? It's the same one that Uikyou's running. Uikyou ran the same deck, and I gave it a 1 for Uikyou. I'm not going to change my rating just because it's a maxi. As far as I know, it's the same deck. The only one running one Scoundrel. I think there's one other person running one Scoundrel that I've seen, but I don't know. I don't know why people run 2 Scoundrel. I'm even running it right now, and I don't think it's right. Never loses a game. Dude, yeah, if you put a rat in there, I would have given you a 4 on the spot. Photon. Same list as everybody else. Oh, I touched something. Yeah, I think that part of his deck is really nice. I almost want to give it a 4, but like I said, the whole Stomper thing is like, Stompers are going to be really tough to beat when you don't have Stompers of your own. I think a lot of those matchups may come down to who has the best Stomper plays. And yeah, that's about it. Psycho Rogues are getting a 2 no matter what. It's a fine deck, but I think it's suboptimal. Painlock. I'm surprised we're not seeing more Painlock. I personally would have selected Painlock in my lineup if I were to go to an event. In fact, I had it chosen as one of my top 3 deck lists. I can see why people like Insanity more, but I can also see this deck just sweeping everybody. He doesn't even run any tech cards though, so maybe he runs 2 Stompers, right? I don't know, man. With everybody running Insanity Warlock, I feel like this might be a 4. Because this deck doesn't it? I mean, it beats Tempo Druid really, really hard. It's got an interesting matchup. It beats Psycho Rogue. There's a couple of people who are in Psycho Rogue. The Overheal Priest matchup is kind of bad, so I imagine you ban that. I feel like it's probably good versus Paladin. I don't know. I feel like Painlock's expected, but this list is so clean. I think it's a 4. It's not good versus Pala. Family crushes all rogues. I disagree. There's a few techs you can do that only a few rogue players are doing right now, where it's really hard for Insanity to kill you, and that's why you run Mixologist as well, because if you get armor off of Mixologist, you can get like 50 armor, and that's an exaggeration, but you technically could, right? And then it's really hard to kill you on top of the healing that deck can do. So I've had a pretty good win rate versus Insanity Warlock, and I think people that are really good at the rogue deck are going to do even better. And they also brought Stomper, which I'm not even right now, which I imagine also helps with that matchup. So a 6 Stomper lineup, let's go. He brought 2 Stompers in this Tempo Druid. How do we feel about that, guys? I'm not sure I like it. So will he just cut the 7 mana spell? I guess that's kind of nice for your Dorian plays. Is that better? Is that honestly a 4? Cutting new heights for Stomper seems good to me. Wait, so I thought he cut the 7 cost spell. What else did he cut? Wait, he cut 2 things. There's 2 different changes. He's not running the 7 cost spell. Oh, and then he ran 2 Malfurion's gifts because instead of the new heights. Oh, dude, this is kind of a sick list, dude. I think that's a 4. I think this is better. I actually think this is better than the Tempo Druid list. He's like one of the only people who's gotten any points for bringing Tempo Druid outside of 3. This is the only good Tempo Druid list. Yeah, I think so, dude. Damn. Even with Psycho Rogue, I don't know. I think this is like a super unique and clean deck list. Photon's going to be really interesting to watch. Miracle Rogue with Stomper. No Minstrel is kind of suboptimal, but I guess like people were saying, you could cut it if you're running Mixologist. And I don't think you need Gear Shift. I would much rather have a No Manager or a Deafen. This list is kind of gross. I don't know if it's so gross that it matters though, because it's got all the things you really need in it. I still think it'd be a 3 because the lists are like what's the best Miracle Rogue list? Some are better than others, I think, but I don't know if I would cut this down to a 2 because a lot of the stuff makes enough sense to be about a standard Miracle Rogue deck. I don't think nothing in here brings it down to 2. And I do basically this. I don't really like Gear Shift. I don't think it ruins the deck. So the same Overheal Priestless as everybody else. Nature Shaman, we gave a 1 before. We'll give it a 1 again. Without really even looking at the list. I don't think there's anything crazy going on. Yep. Nature Shaman might just sweep and we all be wrong, but Concierge Druid looks like this is 2 innervates is kind of interesting. What did he cover 2 innervates? Do not know. Yeah, what did he cover 2 innervates? Hours? Gift? Oh. Don't you kind of need gift? Oh no, it's probably fine. Give him a 10. All right. Editing Micaiah here. This is the final ranking for the groups. Overall, it looks like Group C is slightly stronger. We did correct Group D just a bit. There was a couple errors in the sheet as well, so we fixed that. But this is our thoughts on the lineups. I hope everybody does well. I hope there's some crazy upsets, and I can't wait to be proven wrong. Thanks for watching.